All right, looks like we are on. Cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to today's video. Firstly, I hope you've all been keeping well and staying safe during these turbulent times. Now remember, we have all we've got, so be sure to look after one another. Okay, now before I begin this video, I just want to do a quick little shout out to a little guy that probably will never watch this video. Probably even doesn't even have the concept of understanding what I'm doing at the moment. But that being said, it is our little boy, our little man, Teddy's birthday. Now, Teddy, for those who aren't aware, is our little puppy, or was once a puppy. He's now 1 year old, and he just likes to lounge around, whether it be on the couch, underneath the couch, outside, in my office. He used to be on the bed. We have sort of put up barriers for him not to do that, so he can learn or relearn not to lie in bed with us, because again, with a kid on the way and having Teddy in there as well, it's probably a recipe for, I wouldn't say a disaster, but a recipe for a lot more work than I guess it could be. So anyway, happy birthday to the big fella. Probably go on a tangent here. We picked up Teddy at a place 4 hours away from where we live. So we live in Sydney, or at least on the northern beaches here, and we had to venture out to Orange, which according to Google Maps is about 3.5 hours away. So it was very spontaneous. I think I connected with the breeder the Friday. We went out and picked him out on the Saturday, and Aretha, who's been looking at Teddy for probably 2 or 3 months now. So, oh no! Yeah. And that's the dad here. Is that what we said? Hey. So you can imagine back in December, Aretha was just constantly on this page, seeing that there was 4 siblings, and Teddy wasn't initially the one that we wanted, or Aretha wanted. I think she wanted the other siblings, but as they started to be picked off, eventually Teddy was the last one there. So I thought, what better way to provide a gift for Aretha on the 2nd of February, which is our anniversary, than to make the call on the 1st of February, pay the breeder, and then just head out there the following day. And for those who have been watching the previous videos, I am a Gemini, and a Gemini in this instance is someone who is very fast thinking, always on the go, probably fleeting. You would say spontaneous as well, just ever changing or ever seeking change. And I thought, you know what, let's do it. Never been out to Orange. Not that we're going to stay in Orange for that long, because again, we got back at about 10 o'clock at night, where in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have left at 12 or before 12. We should have left a hell of a lot earlier. But anyway, I thought it was a pretty cool journey. And during that, I said to Aretha, we're going to go pick up our stand-up desk. Now, silly me, right? I said, the stand-up desk is going to be out west somewhere, Penrith or whatever, and thus we were heading out there. But it was only up until French's Forest, which, for those who don't know, from the northern beaches to the French's Forest, it's about a sort of 5-10 minute drive. So even up until then, Aretha just really wanted to understand where we were going, what we were up to, and she sort of freaked out when she saw 3.5 hours on the GPS, which annoyingly I put up on the dashboard for everyone to see. So when Aretha saw that, she obviously got a bit confused and anxious about it, and thus I had to give away the secret that we were going to go and pick up her favorite puppy, or her favorite dog. Anyway, so I don't know where Teddy is, but I think he's out there lounging at the moment. But it was such a good journey, such a good decision to pick up Teddy. And Teddy's actually been a really good learning curve for myself and Aretha on how we can sort of practice a lot of these things, whether it be feeding, whether it be walking the dog. And not in this instance for a kid, but there are certain principles that we follow, or at least can have some form of a understanding before the actual bub, with its pram over there, ready to go, before the bub enters this world. So we've been very fortunate, even though 2020 has been a year where there has been a lot of ups and downs. But again, not just, I guess, for us, but just the whole entire globe as a collective. But there's always, or at least for myself and Aretha, we've always looked at the positive side. We've always looked at just the things, even if it is the worst day ever, we've always kept sort of grounded and kept conscious of what is, the small little things that we can take great appreciation for, great gratitude towards. And for this instance, Teddy being a very vital part of the family, giving us some really cool lessons on how to look after, someone other than Aretha and myself. And yeah, again, I could go through a plethora of other amazing things that has happened. Not to disregard or not to be ignorant to the bigger things that have happened in the world, but again, it's always good to sort of have that understanding of, it may be really bad at the moment, but we can always find some good in something that can allow us to just hold on to that hope. So yeah, that's been pretty much it. That's sort of an insight to the 19th of November, the insight to Teddy, our little man, and the fact that we've been very, very grateful and blessed to, be living not only here, but just everything that's happened to us in this life. So anyway, sort of gone into definitely a long tangent. I think this tangent's gone for about 5.5 minutes, but I feel it's important. Now, the reason why is because it gives you guys more context and more sort of transparency into our life, what we've been up to, what we've been doing, and just giving a lot more value to you guys in terms of maybe our experiences, our lessons that we've learned, some of the principles that we've been applying and has worked, or even some principles that we've tried to apply that just hasn't worked in our favor. That being said, though, all these conversations and all these videos that are coming out is or has the intention of helping whatever situation you are in at the moment. So that's pretty much it. In today's video, I want us to go through. Okay, so for whatever reason, the just issue here with the laptop, but looks like I managed to get it up and running again, so apologies for that. But yeah, in today's video, it's more about the concept of just not taking life too serious. Now, in this instance, again, very cliche, I'm sure we've heard many iterations of this phrase and of this concept in many different experiences, but I guess at least for me, and sharing my experience, the ability not to take things for granted or not to take things seriously was something that I had struggled with growing up. So as an example, playing football, or whether it be playing in a band, a musical band. So I used to be a drummer and have been a drummer since I was opening up the cupboards when I was, I think, 2 years old at my Australian grandparents' place. And I'll do another video as to why I reference them as the Australian grandparents and I guess how much they mean to us purely because of how they took mum in at a very early age. But I've always strived to just take things a lot serious than what they should have been. So when I was playing football, if things didn't go right, or if I sort of stuffed up or just didn't really play well, I'd really beat myself up on it. And to a point where it would affect me the following day, the day after that, or probably even up until the next day or next time I could play and actually play a decent game. So that combination of building up that just that and probably negative energy, for lack of a better phrase, it was really affecting not only myself, what I was doing at the time, but just people around me. So when you take things, I think, a little bit too seriously, the knock-on effect it'll have, or the ripple effect, is that it just doesn't necessarily only affect you, but you just got to have a look and see who it actually affects around you. So at the time, whether it be my parents, whether it be my brother growing up, a lot of the angst, a lot of the sort of negative energy around not doing so well, not striving to my very best and taking things a little too serious, it had a knock-on effect. And whether I was conscious of it or not conscious of it, the outcome was still affecting those people closest to me. So as I kept on getting older, and as I started to learn that maybe I shouldn't take things too serious, seeing a lot more of my mentors, a lot more of my just people I looked up to in the game of rugby league, and seeing how they would deal with probably an off game or a game where the results didn't go if they lost. And you can see straight away that they look at the bigger picture. They stay focused on what the bigger picture is. So you don't win the championship after that one game or that off game. What you do is consistently build upon what you do in that game and how you can become better by fixing and working on those just small minor issues to help elevate and continuously build your game up. So when I saw people like that speaking about that, when I saw mentors or people closest to me who, at the time are probably disappointed or let's just say devastated, but they move on. They leave that in the past, they leave it as is, and the following day they're just back to their normal self. They've taken account and they've also acknowledged that there are things that they could do a lot better from that game, but the following day they focus on what they can do and what is in front of them. And again, it comes into probably another concept of being present, understanding what has happened, but not letting what has happened, what has happened in the past, affect what they're doing currently at that point. So as an example, you can see a lot of these top tier athletes or sports elite people that, yes, they take note of what happened and what went wrong, but they go in immediately the following day to fix it. So when you take things a lot seriously, or when you take things to, a very, very I wouldn't say, probably toxic point. It's hard. It affects a lot of people around you, but also you take that sort of angst, you take that burden, that pain, and it continuously affects you until you let it go. So that was sort of a football instance. That was me reflecting on when we've lost semi-finals, when we've lost just a general game throughout the season. I really beat myself up, and I took things took a lot to heart, but I took things too serious. So again, the beauty of this is understanding the importance of the emotional side of things. And if you can, again, remove a lot of that emotion from whatever you're doing, it sort of makes things a little bit more objective. You sort of pull yourself back and go, okay, without taking it too seriously, what has happened? What is the effect? But more importantly, what can you do to make things a lot better? So that was a really good sort of example. And as I move into business and how business is sort of a reflection or just another game of a sport or an industry, those rules are these concepts are quite evident in what I do from a day-to-day basis. So as an example, we've been working with this really, really amazing clients, but they can be a little bit demanding. And I understand that, I could get upset. And I have internally gone, Rob, what are you doing, mate? Are you sticking true to your guns? Are you sticking true to who you are? Are your morals and values still in alignment? And I would say absolutely, yes, they still are. But I've also taken a lot more of the emotion out of certain things that are said within meetings, certain results that have happened. But ultimately, we are looking at the long-term game. We're looking at the long-term goal, and that goal is to absolutely succeed. So with things that are said in the heat of the moments, most often than not, they would, from past experience, they would build up and hold up inside me, and thus affect not only the people around me, but also how I operate, how I effectively go for the following week. But now, objectively, removing the emotion out of it, standing aside as well, and just going, okay, objectively, what is the facts? What's happening? What can we do to make things better? What can we say back to the client and request or ask them for certain things or feedback? And then continuously move on, continuously progress and move forward. So in this instance, it was a very challenging time within the first, month or two of the business. But as we continuously build, taking feedback, worked on it, taking it back to the market, seeing results, we're actually starting to get a little bit more momentum, and more momentum in the fact that things are free flowing now. And we said this from day one, that at the first bit of, any business, you need to test and measure. You need to go through certain things. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but the overall arching concept here is that we need just time, and time is best done within the first or second month with the business. You could have some abnormal results already, but you need to build a brand. And if there's no brand already for people to walk past, so I love saying to business owners out there that their digital presence is like a shop front with literally millions of people walking past it. And if there's no shop front, or if you've decided to put up a shop front right now, people don't know who you are. So if you go out there selling them or telling them that you have this amazing service for businesses out there, people are just going to go past you because there's no credibility, there's no evidence, there's just no digital footprint as of yet. So as we build this up within the first couple of months, we're really starting to get that traction and beauty. And the best thing about this as well is that they start to buy in, they start to see the vision, they start to see the potential within social media, and they really start to take ownership of it. And when you start to see business owners take ownership of a space that is, again, let's be fair, relatively new to them, they never grew up with Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, but they've taken it on board, they've taken it by the grasp of the kahunas and gone all in. You can definitely see that the results, at least on the online space, is really ramping up. It's starting to become a lot more of a figure within the space. They're the ones who are starting to really own their space online. So again, this is sort of more moving to the point where it is quite it could have been a point where I took it to heart, I took things too seriously, and then may have lost the relationship, or may have just been a lot more damaging to the long-term vision or the long-term goal that we're all aspiring to. But in this instance, seeing how I've been able to learn from certain experiences with football, not take things too serious, and apply this in a business sense or to this game that I play, and seeing the results, that there is pretty cool. So again, this is a very long So again, I see that this video here is taking a little bit longer than I guess I intended, but again, this video here is to showcase and provide a lot more transparency with the concepts that I've used, the concepts that I've found has worked from past experiences, where it hasn't worked, and taking that actually into the new game that I play and learning from my experiences. That there is pretty cool. So anyway, I hope this is of value. Remember the concept of not taking things too seriously. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the people around you, nor does it serve the long-term goal that you're striving for. Anyway, hope you guys are well. Stay safe. Let me know in the comment section below too if this is something that you have too struggled with, or if not, let me know how you've been able to apply this principle and moved forward, gotten a lot more, I guess, engagement, a lot more for whatever you're trying to strive for. Anyway, that's the video there, guys. I hope you guys have all been keeping well. Let me know in the comment section below how this concept helps, or if this is a concept that you have relatively used in the past. Let me know what experiences you've been able to go through. And then, anyway, hope this is of value. I hope you guys also understand the concept of not taking things too seriously, using my experiences to learn from, and yeah, take it out there into whatever you're striving for and achieving. So anyway, again, hope you guys are well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, bye.